Alicia!
Hi, Rose.
What are you doing here?
Oh my god! Amazing! Well, it's parents, family, and friends, right? I'm your friend, so solidarity.
You're an awesome human being!
Hi, Alicia. I'm Nathan. I'm Rose's dad.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Miller.
Nope, it's Nathan. We're very informal around here.
Yo, I'm gonna go say hi to your mom.
I love your dad. I think I have a crush on him.
Don't!
It's nice to see you smiling.
Oh, seriously, thanks for coming. This is so awesome of you.
Hey everybody, I'd like to get started, so let's find some seats, okay?
Ready?
Hi everybody, welcome. My name's Robin. It's not my first time leading a sharing group. I've been involved with PFLAG Canada for some time now. Jerry couldn't be here tonight. He had another commitment tonight that he couldn't get out of, so he asked me to step in as moderator. Back when I was in my early 20s, my cousin came out. To say that it didn't go well for him would be an understatement. Essentially, his whole family cut him out of their lives. His brothers, his parents, everybody. Even though we were more distantly related to him, we kind of took him in as one of our own. A few years later, he was diagnosed with cancer, and it was terminal. We'd all hoped that it would bring the family together, that they would bridge their differences and come and be with him in his final months. I was with him in his last days. He held on for as long as he could, with the hope that they would arrive and they would reconcile. They never did. No one came. Not his parents, not his brothers. And he died. A week later, I was attending my first sharing meeting. And I didn't say anything that night, or the next meeting, or the meeting after that. But eventually I did. And 6 months later, I was leading a chapter in PEI. And when I moved to Lethbridge, I did the same thing there. Every time I come to one of these meetings, I feel so comforted. It's why we do these things, right? To feel connected. It's so important, as many of you already know, and as our first-time friends will soon discover. It's so cathartic. So that's me and how I came here. Morgan over here said he wanted to go first after me, so Morgan, you have the floor.
Hey everyone, I'm Morgan. You just said that.
It's okay, Morgan.
Last time I didn't say much, I didn't feel like sharing. But I know I looked pretty rough. So this time I want to put it out there that yes, I did get beat up. And it was really bad. I'm trans, and I'm usually pretty aware that people don't necessarily like trans people. I lived in a pretty good area. There were a lot of expensive houses. It was all families. And I was walking to a park, and it was Canada Day, and there was a pub, and there were a lot of drunk guys outside the pub drinking and smoking. And as I walked by, I heard them starting to say the usual things, you know, like calling out dyke and that kind of thing. But then one of them said to the other, dude, that's not a dyke, it has no tits, that's a fag. I knew I was in trouble because now I was uncertain and I was unknown, and that is threatening to people. So I crossed the street to get away, and they crossed the street as well. I crossed the street again, and then I realized they were following me. So I turned down an alley. The alley I turned into was a dead end. So skipping details that make people uncomfortable, I ended up on the ground with my pants around my ankles, and I'd been raped, and my shoulder was dislocated, and they were gone. But what disturbs me the most, and I remember the most, is one of them saying, well, if she thinks she's a dude, let's remind her that she's not and get her pregnant. But it started to get better. I can get up now and I don't think about it, and I can go out and I don't think about it. I sometimes don't wake up in the night thinking about it. So long as things keep improving, it'll be okay. And I'm realizing now the power in sharing my story, and that's what I really appreciate doing tonight, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Sam. My first real girlfriend came along when I was in my first year of university. She was actually the most badass girl I had ever met, leather jacket and all. She was half Irish, half Italian, and completely sexy. I was the new girl at work and she got put in charge of training me, which resulted in us making out in the employee change room almost every shift. It wasn't before long that we were going out on dates and staying up all night on the phone talking, and after only a month saying that we loved each other. Typical lesbians, right? She would come over to my place all the time because my parents were cool with it. But what I really wanted, more than anything, was to sleep over at her house. So she promised me that on my birthday, I could spend the night at her place. It happened to be a night that her mom was out of town. Now, when we started dating, she explained that because her parents are super religious, she never planned on coming out to them. She said that they would be furious, kick her out, disown her, or worse. She wouldn't even hold my hand in public in case a family member was passing by unexpectedly. And I thought to myself, why can't you just be brave? I mean, I came out when I was 16. And it was hard, but isn't it ultimately important for your family to know who you are and learn to love you for it? Anyways, my birthday was amazing. She took me out to dinner and brought me home, and I spent the night wrapped in her arms. It was amazing. That is, until her mom got home. Unexpectedly, first thing in the morning. She was like, "Get up, you have to hide." And she opened her closet door and made me climb inside her laundry hamper. It was squishy and really dark, and it smelled like dirty socks. I could hear the muffled sound of her talking to her mom in this happy voice like nothing was wrong. And I remember thinking, wow, I am literally in the closet right now. What the hell? I must have been in there for half an hour, maybe more, before she finally opened the door and helped me out of her hamper. My back was so sore I could barely move. But being in there, in the dark, terrified of being discovered, it gave me a lot of time to think about what I want from life. I mean, what kind of family I want to have someday. I thought about how I hated Christmas, when my parents would buy her presents, because they understood what she meant to me, but to her parents, I was just some girl she hung out with. They didn't have any idea of who I was to her. Hiding in the closet from my ex-girlfriend's scary mom made me realize that I have to be with someone who is proud of themselves and proud to be with me. And maybe someone who is brave enough to stay proud, even when that gets really difficult. Anyways, that's enough venting for me. I really appreciate coming to these meetings. It's nice to know I can speak my mind without the fear of being judged. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm straight, and I've never felt out of place saying that before. Well, mind you, how often do you tell people you just met your sexual orientation? Actually, that makes me think. I have some friends who are lesbian or gay or bisexual, and they've been having a pretty tough time at school lately. So I thought I'd come and join tonight, and maybe I learn a few things, and I have. So, thank you. Okay, Claire, you go.
Hi, I'm Claire. I think most of you know me by now. I told Alicia about our fabulous group and she decided to come, so thank you. So I've been kind of out at school for a while now. A lot of people assumed I was gay and I just never really denied it. So now a lot of people at school know. Everybody knows because Rose and I are dating. I've always said that I don't care who knows, but recently it's starting to matter who knows. If you've been keeping up with current events at school, you know that Catholic school is not always a nice place for LGBT youth. They teach you that you should be ashamed for being gay and that it's not okay to be yourself. Lots of people at school are actually awesome sauce. There's a couple jerks, like this one girl who said I wasn't allowed to buy a couple's ticket to the school dance to go with Rose. And then today my mom got a phone call from the gym teacher saying I'm not allowed to use the girls' change room anymore.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. Anyway, sorry, I think I've talked too long. But yeah, it just feels nice to be able to say these things and not worry about being judged, so your turn.
Hi, I'm Rose. I'm a lesbian. I've never actually said that out loud. Well, not in front of people.
It's not a bad word.
No, it's not. But what Claire's saying about school is right. There's this vibe that makes me feel like I'm in the wrong. Like I'm in trouble and I'm gonna get caught any second just for what's going on inside my own brain. I don't feel that way here or at home. But it's suffocating. And I've never really liked attention before. As comfortable as y'all make me feel, this whole public speaking thing is pretty terrifying. Now I'm Rose the lesbian at school, and this whole change room thing has been weighing down on me a lot ever since. I never really liked gym anyways, but now I dread it. And I feel really bad because I'm not being myself. I won't even hold Claire's hand at school or acknowledge that we're a couple. And she's been overly understanding about that, but I know that can't feel good for you. Anyways, I'm finished talking. Marion? Mrs. Daniels, sorry.
Marion's just fine. I'm Claire's mom. I had a shaky start to Claire coming out, I'll admit, but I'm a fast learner. I feel closer to Claire now than ever before. I've learned that's not unusual. There's a whole piece of my daughter I never knew about before. I'm embarrassed about how I behaved when she came out. Claire and Rose will attest to my not understanding everything, but I want to. Claire's dad has been less than receptive, even more so than I was. But I'm not letting him be that way. I'm schooling him. I've got Claire's back. When she first came out, back when I thought this was a choice, I couldn't understand why she would choose to make things more difficult. Now I understand that it's not a choice. It still doesn't make things any easier. Like this business with the dance tickets, and today with the gym teacher calling me.
This is something we should actually talk about during the break. From everything I'm hearing, it sounds like this gym teacher's not following proper protocol. The Ontario Human Rights Act is actually really specific about protecting Claire in this situation.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Nathan. My daughter came out to me months ago. It's scary. All the secrets and the unfairness. Before my wife died, we would dream about the future, about Rose's future. We made a lot of decisions back then. And one of those decisions was that Rose would go to school in the Catholic system. I'm not very religious, so neither is Rose. But it was important to her mother and to her family. And I know they appreciate it. But back then, we never considered the kind of things that we're facing here. I mean, the idea of two girls or two boys going to the school dance together, that was unheard of. And this change room issue. What do you mean it's weighing down on you? This just happened today.
You know what? I'd like to take the break early. Let's take 20. Marion, Nathan, I think we should step aside and talk about this school issue.
Rose, what aren't you telling me?
Coming out isn't easy for anyone, whether you're struggling to find the words to talk about your sexual orientation or gender identity, or comforting a friend or loved one who's just come out as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or trans. Please know that you're not alone. PFLAG Canada is there to help. Visit them online at pflagcanada.ca for more information or to find a support meeting near you. PFLAG Canada is there when no one else is.